Hi. To begin, let me explain that I've grown up all my life being bilingual between English and Spanish, and so it's just kind of part of me. But I noticed some things you explained and commented on are things that I experience also, and so I thought I'd let you know you're not alone. One thing you mentioned spelling. One thing that for me in spelling really, I guess, always catches me is words like celebration or I don't know any word that ends in shun. I want to spell like in Spanish, Cion, not Tion. But like you said, thank God for spell check. It always catches me. So yeah, there's the whole spelling thing. Um, there's a saying bilingual people can speak two languages but can't spell in either, so it must be common. Um, the other one is thinking of a word in the wrong language. I've seen a bumper sticker that says, "A veces I forget what idioma I am speaking, and entonces it comes out así." Um, I think that kind of illustrates the concept. And yeah, like times I'll be talking to someone and a word will come to me in the completely wrong language. And so I'm standing there trying to grasp at the word, trying to figure out how to say it, you know? Um, and it has to be both ways. When I'm speaking English, the words will come to me in Spanish. And when I'm speaking Spanish, the words come in English. So it's not that one's more dominant, it's just that I always think of the wrong word. And as I've thought about this, um, the explanation that I've seemed to figured out is that we don't think in a single language. I mean, monolingual Americans probably do. And by the way, Americans aren't the only monolingual people. Most people are monolingual, sadly. Um, but that aside, people who speak only one language, they only have one language, and so they only can think in that language. And when you start learning a language, you first you directly correspond one word to another, and a lot of times that works. House, casa, dog, perro, etc. But as you get deeper and deeper into the language, you realize that there's very few words that actually both mean the exact same thing. As you get deeper into it, you realize there's little nuances and slight differences in the exact meaning of what in a dictionary will appear to be the exact same word. So what happens, I think, is as you're talking, the concept comes, and the exact concept in your head comes, and that's a concept that exists more strongly in the other language, and it'll catch you. And so I think part of it is just kind of switching your brain to focus in on one language. Um, and it's not easy, but eventually you learn to. Also, your story about your friend whose memories were, all in Spanish. Um, a lot of my memories, I can't tell you what language they were in. Because a lot of people I've spent a lot of time with are bilingual. And like I said, I think our brain works more in concepts than in actual words. And so I'll remember the gist of what happened and more or less the words that were said. But if a concept in another language, if the words of another language grasp that concept better, that might be the language which I remember it in. Usually, due to circumstances, I can figure out what language it actually happened in. With my strongly bilingual friends with whom I just mix and match however I please English and Spanish, I couldn't tell you what language a given conversation happened. Um, but yeah, mainly just a shout out, let you know that bilingualism rocks. It has its challenges. It can drive your head crazy, but I think it's actually good to think about some of these things, and it gives you a broader look at how your mind works and how languages work. So keep it up. Viva la diferencia, eh?